Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. Okay, someone's been asking me to react to this for a while now, and someone else pointed it out too. It was really long, so it was kind of you know, intimidating. But it's in separate parts. Like I see a part two. Chapter 2 right there. So 847. That's fine. All right. We'll do this in parts. My name is Connor. If you're new, hello. Merry Christmas, guys. Again. Happy December 2nd. Right? Yep. Let's go. Original link to the video, top of the description below. If you are not ready to learn, you're getting a lump of coal.
What ties a people to their land? What makes land yours? How can land even
Freedom.
be yours? The idea of the nation-state is barely 200 years old, and before that idea, the notion of land as a collective property of a cultural or national construct didn't exist. The land was owned by kings, and you lived on their land by their grace. The peoples who worked the lands had no rights over these lands, but were instead tolerated by kings, who themselves claimed to be tolerated by gods. The modern nation-state had to forge identities to justify their existence as sovereigns over said land. There are many means and ways to forge such justifications. Our most modern nation-state had to forge identities to justify their existence as sovereigns over said land. There are many means and ways to forge such justifications. Our most modern one is derived from adherence to common values or through an integration through language. Because of that, the academic histories of lands are mostly separated into two parts: the story of the land itself and the story of those who live in it now. And this place here is a great example of
I like that.
that separation. The region is now mostly known for the name given to it by its modern-day nation-state, Turkey. The geographical terms for it are Anatolia or Asia Minor, being Greek for East or Latin for Little Asia. And the story of Anatolia is a story separated into a part before those currently inhabiting the region and the story of those who inhabit it now, but also the stories of those that came before those that came before those that inhabit.
I mean, when it comes to Turkey, I feel like there's no greater, geographical location that is more likely to change hands throughout history than where Turkey is today. It just seems like there must have been so many different people inhabiting this area. The first ever to inhabit Turkey much earlier than 10,000 BC or whatnot. So yeah, sorry, continue.
Inhabited now, and those that came before them, and those that came before those. Throughout the millennia, many came to claim these lands, mainly claiming it though through one thing: a right to land through conquest, as these lands are extremely valuable and probably one of the most sought after and valuable pieces of real estate in the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Surrounded by mountain ranges on all sides, the central Anatolian plains with its rivers and the downpours from the Mediterranean spill out into vast fertile plains that were ideal for early agricultural-based settlers, such as the Kultep civilization, around 10,000 years ago. The settlers of this
They're going to get into the Bronze Age sea people, I'm sure.
region also discovered another enormous advantage of the region: the vast natural resources, specifically important for the first metal age that they would help kickstart, namely the copper ore in the Pontic Mountains. The oldest known copper relics, which are around 10,000 years old, have been found in this region of Anatolia. Through digging up and dating copper relics, we know that this region of the world is the epicenter from which the Copper Age began.
Wow.
Being that copper was the most modern technology of the time, it turned the region into a center for trade and connected its civilization to the southern civilizations of the Halaf culture based in modern-day northern Syria. This trade was made easy through yet another benefit of the Anatolian geography. Anatolia is the origin of the two most important rivers in the Middle East, the Tigris and the Euphrates. Euphrates. Copper could be shipped downstream and traded for mirrors, pottery, and grain that the succeeding Mesopotamian civilizations had to sell. Cometh the Bronze Age, cometh a new civilization, the Hittites, and the region developed into one of the most prosperous of the ancient world. If the Hittites or Indo-European peoples came to Anatolia as migrants or conquerors is not known. We only know that they came with the Bronze Age and stayed. Bronze is made 9 parts copper and 1 part of tin, which makes tin a resource in need. Again, this region is the epicenter of the Bronze Age, yet another metal age, but we do not know where the tin came.
I find this mind-boggling.
Deposits in Britain, northern France, but we do not know where the tin came from. There are large tin deposits in Britain, northern France, Portugal, Spain, Malaysia, and Nigeria, which for their part explain the burgeoning Bronze Age civilizations in these places.
So is that rare? So how is tin not enormously? I don't know the economics behind precious metals, especially stuff like not even gold or silver, but tin. And yeah, if it's such a crucial ingredient, maybe not so much anymore. Sorry, okay.
Wants to know how
great channel, by the way.
Reached them, but not so much in Anatolia. The origin of the tin used to make bronze in Anatolia is still somewhat of a mystery. Tin, due to its chemical composition, can form into tinstone or cassiterite, which, similar to gold, can form at riverbanks in what are called placers that can be scooped and collected. Our safest bet is that this is how the tin was acquired in the river landscapes of Mesopotamia and Anatolia. The bronze made out of that tin and copper brought wealth, but also the Bronze Age collapse, during which the Hittite Empire fell apart into small bickering states to eventually be conquered by the Assyrian Empire. Even though often described as an Assyrian colony, it is far more likely that Anatolia was one of the more important and significant regions of the Assyrian Empire and not just a foreign place conquered and plundered. A 3,000-year-old ship found off the coast of Uluburn, loaded with dozens of tons of copper, tin, bronze, gold, as well as ivory, point to the significance of Anatolia as an integral part of the Assyrian Empire.
I don't really expect anyone to know this answer, but I'm going to ask this question anyway. When it comes to getting like a bar of any metal, you basically just like scoop out the ore out of the earth, but a lot of the times, and so when you get the ore and the metal, you melt it down, and then because of the density of different metals, they'll kind of layer like a cake almost, and then you can like scoop out and then let it settle, and then that's a new. Yeah, I'm just curious how you smelt metals.
As do the various Assyrian artifacts found in Anatolia. Yet as the Hittite Empire declined, someone else also took up shop on the other side of Anatolia. Lydia appeared around 3,000 years ago and took advantage of yet another great geographic benefit of Anatolia, its vast coastline protected by mountains, ideal to go out and trade through the Mediterranean, but with the added benefit of the mountains providing protection from any potential invasion by sea. Lydia managed to fight off nomadic raiders such as the Scythians and Chimerans, and access to the Mediterranean brought Lydia under early Greek influence and trade with Egypt, which in return allowed it to prosper. Meanwhile, on the other side of Anatolia, the Assyrians collapsed into bickering states at civil war that neglected many provinces of their once great empire, which allowed the nomadic Scythians and Chimerans to raid its Anatolian lands, and eventually for the Achaemenids to roll in and take it all over. And here we reach a moment where history mixes somewhat with legend and myth. The last king of Lydia, Croesus, visited the Oracle of Delphi asking if he should go to war with the Achaemenids, to which the Oracle replied, "If you go to war, a great kingdom shall be destroyed."
Guys, so Oracle was like a real job. Wasn't it usually like a virgin young girl or something like that, and they would like keep her up in a mountain? Maybe I'm just thinking of 300, you know, and that. So, okay, not very historical, but wouldn't that just be the best job? You're like, let me see, you lose, or you win, but you need to give me a donut, or okay, sorry.
So Croesus went to war with the Achaemenids, and consequently the kingdom of Lydia was destroyed as the Achaemenids conquered it. However, as much as the Achaemenids must have enjoyed their power over Anatolia, they didn't make it their new home, but a satrapy, where local Greek colonists and city-states increasingly resented their Persian overlords, which in return was a perfect justification for the Macedonians to invade the place and kick the Achaemenids out again. This began a long period
Alexander?
of Hellenic dominance in Anatolia, however not through a united Greek ruler, but several states, kingdoms and entities, such as the Seleucids, Pontus and Pergamon, who warred and bickered over land and dominance over the landmass.
Sorry, continue.
It saw the arrival of the Bithynians in the Bosporan Straits, a Thracian people from modern-day Bulgaria who Hellenized and founded a city and kingdom at a strategically important position. The arrival of the Galatians.
So there are people way long ago, we have no idea, who were in Turkey. Turkey seemed to have a nice, with the Tigris and Euphrates, upriver into Turkey, that seemed to be a perfect place for civilization to really for a civilization, not all of civilization, to really take hold. And they had, the Bronze Age, they had copper mines up in the north of Turkey, right, or somewhere there. And then there was beef with the rising Persian threats, and then Hellenization, and now, okay, continue.
Were a Celtic tribe from modern-day Hungary who migrated into Greece, sacked several cities, and then migrated into Anatolia to settle there. There, they would be neighbors to the Cappadocians, an Iranian kingdom in central Anatolia. Combined with an Armenian expansion westward, this shaped Anatolia's cultural makeup for centuries to come as a diverse place of many different cultures, languages, and peoples. And this multitude of cultures, combined with the strategic importance of the landmass, made especially the coastal regions rich and powerful. Greek kingdoms controlled trade from the Black Sea into the Mediterranean. Galatian mercenaries served in Egyptian armies, and the Armenian kingdom kept growing. Then came the Romans, who didn't drive anyone away, but simply made everyone Roman. Under the Romans, the wealth of the region didn't decline, but increase. More importantly, as Anatolia could be used as a base of power from which, through rivers and roads, power could be exercised over the Levant, Mesopotamia, and by that extent Egypt, the importance of the province that the Romans named Asia Minor kept growing and growing.
I love how no matter how many times it swaps. So there are a few things I'm learning through history of kind of human nature, I like to think, and a few bad things, but a few good things. And one of the good things is that it seems that no matter what, our sort of thirst for knowledge is always there, and no matter who controls the area, they seem to always, to some extent, keep some of the technological improvements from whatever they conquered and kind of pass it on. And so no matter who controls an area, they seem to still be able to grow and not be stalled or destroyed. Keep going.
In particular, the importance of its biggest city, Bithynia. Financial, political, and military power gradually shifted within the Romans named Asia Minor kept growing and growing. In particular, the importance of its biggest city, Bithynia. Financial, political, and military power gradually shifted within the Roman Empire eastwards to Anatolia and the Bosporus Straits. Culturally, this changed the makeup of the Roman Empire in the east. It became more Greek, as the people in the cities were predominantly Greek. It is where the Romans started adopting Christianity, with a distinctive Greek touch to it. After the death of Rome's first Christian empire, the city which he had helped expand as the new capital was named after him, and subsequent emperors divided the empire into two, of which the Eastern Empire would be the only one to remain. As such, it endured further centuries from its capital at the Bosporus, with its heartland in Anatolia, even as it lost much of its empire first to the Sassanids. And
I don't know what it is about the Byzantine Empire. It just doesn't. It doesn't. Maybe I need to know. I clearly need to know more about it, but for some reason, it just doesn't catch my attention as something that I want to learn a ton about. I don't know why. It's just the Byzantine Empire just doesn't seem as interesting to me as some other things. Does that make sense? I don't mean to hate on it. Sorry.
and then to the first caliphates. Someone, however, who is not to be seen in this, the first years of history of this mass of land, are the people who this video is about. They spent those years elsewhere, and at around 1200 they were about to make their great entry into this story.
Was that the Huns? Chapter 2, I'll do this later. The Great Journey. This is an awesome channel. I'm sorry about all this stopping going. I've been even more than usual in this video. Hope it's not too choppy. But really cool video. I'm interested, and I'm ready to continue this. Keep doing chapter after chapter. Awesome. See you guys soon. See you next time.